All right, the Browns get a win. A win is a win, by the way, which happened to be our Facebook question of the week. Is a win a win, or do you need more to it? But a couple of questions arise from it. First of all, I thought Baker-Mayfield played pretty well.
Yeah, it's hard again here. Are we gonna nitpick the good things? It's funny. The 24-yard completion to Jarvis-Landry, where he kind of caught it out of nowhere to set up the Higgins touchdown. Kareem-Hunt's open on a wheel route on that play. Odell-Beckham-Jr. is pretty open in the middle of the field. It looked like he threw to the most covered guy. Now, they completed it and it set up a touchdown. Yeah. I get it. It still feels like there are times, and I'm going to write about this at cleveland.com on Tuesday. I watched Odell the whole game. I just focused on him, watched the coverages, where he lined up, was there a safety over top of him? And it just feels like there's more opportunities for him than they take.
That being said, Higgins is open because they double up the side with the two receivers, and I think that made it wide open for Baker to complete that pass.
Odell's been doing that all year. He clears out zones. He brings the extra safety with him, which allows one-on-one matchups.
Did we learn anything about the Browns team, the Browns players, the Browns coaching staff?
I thought a drive at the end. I thought for the offense to come down and drive at the end. And again, even though it's Josh Allen, and I think you have to say that, the defense did enough on the last drive. I certainly was prepared for the idea that, hey, look, the Browns went down the field and scored to go ahead, and the defense gave it right back up because that's what they did against Seattle. So that defense had to get it stopped at some point, and they did.
What did you think about in the opening when I said they had a 6-0 lead? They were struggling in the red zone, let alone the goal line. Don't you have to put points on the board? Take the chip shot field goal, make it a two-score game?
I thought so, and I don't know the answer to this. I would like to ask Freddie-Kitchens about it. I don't know what happened the other time. It seemed like they were going to go for it in the red zone, and then Chris Hubbard got the false start penalty.
Hopefully
and
on purpose, by the way.
I think maybe the Browns were going to try to draw Buffalo offside on fourth down, that they weren't going to actually go for it. That's the Chris Hubbard version of Sashi Brown forgetting to put the A.J. McCarron trade in, right? It's I accidentally made us kick a field goal.
Well, he should take credit for it.
I would. Oh, Chris Hubbard should take credit for whatever he can take credit for, because he's still missing some blocks in the run game. I wish. You can't will something into existence. And after you didn't make it, 2 penalties, 5 other plays that had not worked on the goal line, I think maybe you say, you know what, this is not going our way. We'll take the 3. Let's get a 2-score lead, because you gave Buffalo the opportunity. When Buffalo scored, then Buffalo went ahead. You didn't want to give them that. You shouldn't have given Buffalo that chance to take a lead.
Right. And I don't know what Jarvis-Landry's thinking about. He scores a touchdown, and I know 6 points is big, and it's more than 1 point. But when you take away that 1 point, it changes whether you're going for field goals, touchdowns, whatever. He's got to know better than that.
I talked to Jarvis a lot about it after the game. I asked him about the penalty, and then we sort of stopped and moved on, and I went back and said, listen, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I said, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but couldn't you maybe just not give the refs a chance to throw a flag on you? He sort of was kind of saying he didn't really think it should have been a flag. And he said, and the story's on cleveland.com, I am who I am. As I pointed out in the story, when Jarvis stands up in the receiver's room on the Hard Knocks video and is trying to change the culture here, everybody loves that fiery guy then. That's the same guy who got the penalty in the end zone. So, sometimes you have to take the good and the bad of somebody. I don't think any Browns fan would say, we don't want Jarvis to be a leader. We don't want him to be fiery.
Is that being a leader?
I don't think it's ridiculous to say you can be fiery, you can get your team riled up without going at a guy's face mask and giving the ref a chance to throw a flag. I get it. It didn't cost him. If that's the price you have to pay for Jarvis-Landry's fire, I guess you'd rather pay it than not have it. I don't think you have to pay it, though.
216-575-0403 is the number to call. les-levine@gmail.com. Doug Lesmerises is here. Let's break down the win yesterday. The Browns with their 3rd win of the season. Let's take a look at how they did it as we'll check it out here. All right, take the points. I guess we could argue this. I say take the points. You're up by 3, or up by 6 rather, and you've got Josh Allen going. 2 scores is going to be hard for him to overcome.
No, I think that's reasonable. And again, when you saw, and I don't know, it's like we could talk about the goal line stuff forever. People had asked, why aren't you targeting Odell in the red zone more? They targeted him 3 times on those 8 snaps, 2 pass interference penalties, and a fade that didn't work. I thought some of the other things, I think Steven Carlson missed a couple blocks. It's like this is a tight end that you're playing because other guys are hurt. He's lined up as a fullback on one play. Doesn't seem to get the right lead block. I thought Pharaoh Brown might have missed a block. They had a couple guys on the edge one time. 2 guys blocked the same guy, and somebody else came free and made the tackle on Nick-Chubb. You know, Freddie, I think on Monday sort of said, well, I think we had it schemed up and we had it blocked up. I don't know if they did. I thought there were free runners in the Bills' defense that made those plays in the run game. So, again, when all that's going wrong, then kick it.
There was a movie a while ago, It's Complicated. What's so complicated about getting one run when you have Nick-Chubb and you got Kareem-Hunt? Why is it so complicated?
Well, I did ask Joel Bitonio about this after the game because when they failed there and did not score, Bitonio came off the field and was very animated for a moment. Said something to Freddie-Kitchens, not confrontational, but you could tell he was upset. And I asked him about that. And he said, I'm just mad that we didn't score. But I said, is that a moment where you would want to say, like, hey, I'm Joel Bitonio. I'm the best offensive lineman on this team. Run right behind me. Just hand off to Nick-Chubb. I promise I'll get you the half yard. And he said, listen, the way Buffalo was playing a 6-man front, we didn't have enough guys to block everybody individually. Sometimes we just ram it in there. He said it wasn't that easy.
Brings me to my final point here. Avoid the middle. If you got 6 guys in the middle, it's a big field out there. It's 53 yards wide. Now
I feel like I'm defending the fact that they couldn't score from the half-yard line 8 times. They tried the toss. Yeah. They went with the toss on, I think, the second play after the play that was a pass interference to Odell. They tried to toss right, and they lost 1.5 yards. That got blown up. And they tried to toss outside on 4th down. That got blown up. They're not blocking on the edge. I think there were some tight ends who did not block on the edge. They did not account for every linebacker in that situation. Maybe play action, a pass to the tight end. I will say, and I'm going long on this, I know. The 2 things that didn't work in the red zone the week before, right? They threw the pass in the end zone to Demetrius Harris. He didn't get his feet down.
Right.
Those 8 plays, they never threw a pass to the tight end. People love to throw to the tight end in the red zone. They didn't do it. The sneak on 4th down with Baker-Mayfield fell short, didn't work, didn't run a sneak. So it was like, well, this didn't work before, so let's try other things. That also didn't work. So at least they failed in a new way, Les. And isn't that progress?
Excellent. All right, so let me ask you this. I'm thinking of a promotion for the show. People register, they enter, whatever, and the winner gets to go up to the playbook and take one play out, and I'm suggesting it's the shovel pass.
Again, like the one that they dropped that you thought was, I will tell you, Ohio State used to run that play all the time. It's actually not that hard to run. Like it looks, I think sometimes the Browns do it, and we saw the one that got picked off against New England. Sometimes they do it, and you think, why are they trying this crazy play? Why are they trying to trick? It's not a trick play. It's really, truly a normal football play.
And there's the backup that if you drop it, you say, oh, that was a pass.
And that's the whole point. When Ohio State first unveiled that in 2014, J.T. Barrett threw like 10 touchdown passes that year on a 2-inch flip.
That's a phony pass.
That's a pass. Yeah. And we were like, I thought initially maybe they were like trying to pad J.T. Barrett's stats.
Right.
And they're like, no, the reason we do it that way and it's not a handoff is so if you drop it, it's an incompletion. Right. So the Browns did it right. Their failure was smart.